Now, the one thing that we all know is 100% true is that drinking a lot of water is very good for our bodies. And dehydration is very bad for our bodies. We know that. We've been told that by everyone. But why is it that when you overwater a plant, it dies? In fact, the number one cause of plant death, plants in your house, is overwatering them. We also know that to make a really good wine, you have to not put too much water. In fact, certain really good winemakers found that if you don't overwater, if the plant or the grapevine goes through a short period of no water, the roots will go deeper and the flavor of the wine is greater. You have a lot more phytochemicals because that plant adapts. And we also know that nutrition is good for our bodies, right? You have vitamins and minerals that act as cofactors to help all the biochemistry, the biochemical reactions in our body to make us healthy. But the time restrictive eating, the fasting, also at the same time greatly benefits the biochemistry of your body. And the two main types of fasting is water fasting, okay, and dry fasting. When you do water fasting, you're basically not eating, but you're drinking liquids. When you do dry fasting, not only are you not eating food, but you're not drinking water. So that is a topic I want to touch on and just explain something that's actually quite fascinating. And you may want to consider doing a short dry fast. One of the biggest benefits of fasting is something called autophagy. Autophagy is a condition where your body is recycling damaged proteins, okay, and it's turning those into new biochemical enzymes and structural proteins, things like that, like your hair, nail, skin, bones, muscle, etc. And fasting is a potent stimulus of this autophagy. Autophagy also helps you clear out intracellular pathogens, microbes, viruses. Very interesting. Now, if we take a look at the importance of getting nutrients versus the importance of detoxification, they're pretty close as far as benefit to your overall health. And in some cases, detoxification might even be a little bit more important. One of the big purposes of sleep is to detoxify your cells. And this is why when you don't sleep, you might feel kind of very toxic and sluggish, especially in your head. Well, when you do fasting, especially dry fasting, you mimic a lot of the benefits to sleep. You're getting rid of toxicity inside your cells. Now, to explain this, I need to explain another thing. About 8 to 10% of the water that you get is produced by your own cells in the mitochondria. As the last step of the mitochondria, if you're burning fat, you're changing that fat into water and oxygen. Roughly about 8 to 10% of the water in your body is produced within your body. It's called endogenous water production or metabolic water. I mean, even in nature, animals, especially those that live in the desert, have a higher function of this. They can make water from within. And one of the big benefits of your body making this water is you get this internal water flushing from the inside out. So you enhance the detoxification process. But if you're drinking all this water, the body never gets a chance to produce this metabolic water. This is why when you do a water fast, okay, you don't get the benefits from a dry fast because you're actually drinking water. And that water inhibits the production of your own body's water. So a dry fast really is enhanced autophagy. It's just a better way of your cells taking out the trash and getting rid of all the extra metabolic waste. And the benefits are very similar to sleeping as far as the detoxification of your cells. And I think a lot of people don't realize how much extra waste that we generate in our cells through the day, especially if we're not eating well. So anything you can do to remove extra waste is a very good thing, especially for longevity. So let me just kind of summarize the benefits in a little bit more detail for you. Number one, dry fasting can help remove intracellular toxicity more than water fasting. Number two, dry fasting actually strengthens the biochemical enzyme pathways, the whole biochemistry, the machine that runs your body. Number three, and this is very, very important, most diseases are related to the mitochondria, mitochondrial dysfunction. And doing dry fasting can help improve mitochondrial function because when you go through autophagy, you also clean up damaged mitochondria, and that's called mitophagy, which is the recycling of mitochondria, as well as improving damaged mitochondria themselves. Because I would even venture to say that probably 80% of all disease, including cancer, is related to a problem with the mitochondria. If you add exercise with dry fasting during that period of time, which I'll explain the details in a minute, you can really take your mitochondria to the next level because exercise as a stimulus by itself can increase the number of mitochondria and the health of the mitochondria, as well as the capacity for the mitochondria to handle more stress and also produce more energy. All right, number four. We have different epigenetic factors. Okay. Epigenetics are above your genes. The genes really do not control anything. Okay. It's the epigenetic lifestyle actions like eating and even not eating. Short term starvation or fasting is a very potent stimulus for survival. And so is cold therapy because our bodies have evolved, not in very comfortable environments, but environments that were very, very cold and environments that we didn't always have a lot of water. And so, if we inhibit the production of water at certain parts of the day, it just may be very therapeutic to the cells just because we're going back to how our bodies were originally adapted. They did not involve with constant food, constant comfort, a lot of water all day long. Number five, dry fasting can mimic some of the benefits of a deep, rejuvenating sleep. I mean, sometimes I'm wondering if someone's really tired because they're tired, or are they tired because the accumulation of metabolic waste that has accumulated through the day or from some of the things that they ate. I personally know when I fast, I don't get tired as much as when I'm eating, and I feel better and I don't need as much sleep. And even the real deeper purpose of sleep is detoxification of metabolic waste. And the last point I want to bring up is just there's not a lot of people who do any type of dry fast. And it's one thing that we're told you must always drink so much water to be hydrated. But dehydration as an epigenetic stimulus is something that I think you should just test out for yourself. Yes, there are people that do 3 day dry fast or even longer. I'm not suggesting you dive into that. What I am suggesting you test the waters on, no pun intended, is let's say, for example, you're fasting for 16 hours, okay, or 18 hours. Just try not to drink any water in that period of time. Then, when you eat, okay, your eating window, that's when you start getting your liquids. And I do suggest you drink a lot of water, right? Like maybe 2.5 liters to get all your fluids within your eating window. Okay. Now, I'm not saying to force yourself to drink, but the point is that, for example, if you have a weakness with kidney stones, well, you're going to have to get more fluid in your body. But you should just see how you feel. If you can go 16 or 18 hours or even 20 hours without drinking any water while you're fasting. What about the coffee in the morning? Well, you could actually take a green coffee extract. Okay, it has caffeine in it. So you get the benefits of the caffeine, like so you don't have withdrawals from your coffee, yet you're not drinking the fluid of that coffee. So you get the feeling of coffee, but without the fluid. It's just an extra thing to look at. If you want to enhance the epigenetic factors, you may want to consider or look into doing a dry fast, a shorter one to start out, and then experiment a little bit longer. Now, if you're new to fasting by itself and you need to know how to do that, you should probably start out with this video right here.